My goodness. Hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Nothing is changed here. We are consistent with our backgrounds and overlays. Nothing ever changes. I promise. You see a change, let us know. And we'll fix that. We'll fix that right away. We will fix that right away. But hello everyone, and welcome to episode 41 of the What the Sheep podcast, where Alana and I will be discussing and breaking down and, generally freaking out over Critical Role Campaign 2, episode 131. We do have a couple of announcements before we get into the episode, starting with our first one, and probably the most, obvious of the announcements, is we have a Discord server. Yep, we finally have a Discord server for all of my channel stuff, so, you can join us for some D&D talk or for some meme shenanigans. That definitely happens a lot. It happens a lot. It definitely does. Yeah, it's just a fun place to hang out and meet some really cool people. Second announcement, probably less obvious. We're launching a Minecraft server. Yep. I don't know. Maybe you could have you could tell that we were doing something with Minecraft based off of, I don't know, some visual clues and some Discord information and all that stuff. But yes, we will be launching a Minecraft community server that will be going live. I originally said right after WTS, but there's still a couple of things I gotta work on, so it'll be like 20-ish minutes after WTS so I can finish up some stuff in the background. But anyway, super excited. Hope to see you all there. But one other thing, unfortunately, it is Java only. So if you have Bedrock, I am sorry, you will not be able to join us. Very sad. But I'm excited to do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
cool.
fun.
Haven't played Minecraft in ages, but I'm excited to jump into that time scene again.
Been a while. But anyways, so check out the Discord when I do fully launch it, because there will be a specific Minecraft channel with all the server information, IP rules, all that fun stuff, specific chats, and all that stuff. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But anyways, with all of that being said, let us dive right into this episode, starting with the craziness and the sheer hype of the beginning of this episode with Yasha versus the party and the Stormlord. My goodness, that was such a fun twist.
That was so cool. That was such a cool game mechanic to get the players in. And since the pandemic has started and they've come back to streaming, those little they've done it a few times now. There's little moments where they're like, "Hey, check under your chair," or "Look in the back of the book."
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that's so cool.
They're planning ahead.
Yeah. That was really really cool, and I love how hard they all went with their NPCs that they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
But just God, that entire sequence, Yasha is incredible, and man,
talking about the some of the players getting into character, specifically Sam becoming the Italian. Oh, sorry, not Sam. Tempest Cloudburst. Sorry, that was not Sam. Was super hilarious. And I know you said you didn't watch Talks, but on Talks, Liam and Sam kind of talked a little bit about getting into their roles and stuff, and how Liam was not holding back. Like, he did not want to hold back. He said that whenever Matt gives him the opportunity to turn on the party or to be mind controlled or whatever, he full sends. He does not hold back at all, because he said it's fun. It's fun to kill your friends.
I remember that when Caleb was possessed or charmed by the succubus back in Jorhas, he was just like the happiest kid on the street. Like, he was just rolling, and he was rolling so well.
I know.
But I remember them saying, like, "Oh yeah, this is Liam's dream, like killing his friends."
Yeah, pretty much. And through the course of this fight, I had forgotten, honestly, that Yasha had so many, like, invulnerability things where she just doesn't die. Yeah. And so, like, when I saw she was outnumbered and the amount of damage they were doing, I was like, oh god, I don't think Yasha's going to survive this. Because I forgot about, Rage Beyond Death and the Zealot thing. So I was like, oh, what's going to happen? And then when her initial, the Zealots thing kicked in, I was like, oh, that's right. Wait, but what happens, after 3 death saving throws? It's not going to buy her much time.
Just keeps going.
Yeah.
Just keeps going.
She just...
I think, it was a really good way to, play test that ability without it being, like, an actual life or death situation. Like, there would have been definitely, I think, a negative had she not succeeded in the dream. I think it would have been she didn't attune to the Holy Avenger, which would suck, but it's not like, she's not dying. It might mean she needs to try again, but no, it was it was so cool because I forgot too. Like, so when he's like, she goes down, like she drops to 0 hit points, but she stays up, and then like the imagery of like the lightning spilling out of her eyes, and just just
so
rage going, like not stopping. Terrifying concept for like what she's going to be capable of. And one of my favorite comments was just throw her at Lucian. Like, what can you do? Like she's just gonna. Although, there's whole Molly and all that, but just throw her at Lucian because she's just gonna keep attacking.
The only issue with that is because she does have low wisdom. So if Lucian has some kind of like mind control thing, he could just like mind control her and just tell her to just like chill.
Is there any kind
of the rage fade, or to just attack the party?
Is there any kind of protection with her rage though that would protect her from charm? I feel like that should be.
Oh yes.
Yasha should be.
Yeah.
I don't think there is, but I think there might be for some other barbarian paths. Maybe like there's something that's like lock your brain down.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
you're just in like death machine.
Yeah. But no, it's just so cool, and the flight to get to the Stormlord and reaching out the sword and catching lightning.
Oh, so cool.
So thematically beautiful.
That was cool. I feel like Matt was trying to push her towards using her healing that she has.
I think so too, and I think Ashley probably knew that, but she just like that's I think, that's kind of like saying she's pushing through, and a big, I think, crux for Yasha has been falling back or being uncertain or not pushing through. So I think a big part of that was, no, I don't want to heal. I want to just keep going. Because healing would feel like maybe pulling back a bit. So, like, I think that was way more perfect than just, stopping for a second to heal and then casually floating up to the Stormlord. I think the idea of just constantly pushing herself was really cool.
Yeah. And metal as fuck. That was super incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good. The imagery of Yasha is one of the coolest of any of the campaigns.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's got the best aesthetic. And accoutrement.
and Ashley Johnson just carries it into the real world with, all of the bomb-ass thumbnails that we keep getting whenever we have a Yasha episode. Oh my god.
That bone harp. That's so
the
cool.
harp.
See that prop that person made? Oh my god. Yeah.
So good. But then we did get a nice, her, I guess, the Stormlord's way of allowing her to attune to the Holy Avenger with, where do you find your strength? And then Yasha,
that kind of like grog throwback was really nice.
Yeah.
Because I love the Earthbreaker Goon stuff from campaign 1. Really cool. Yeah, where do you find your strength? It's nice that that's a chord staple in this universe of because in both cases it wasn't like in my rage or in my muscles or whatever. It was like in my friends, in my family. And Storm was like, I respect that. That was good. Yeah. So no, that was really cool.
But it was nice. And then we got the cute little, Bo Yasha moment afterwards.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah. And then we went back in time.
Yeah, and then there was a whole timeline. Mumble jumble of stuff.
It happens. These things happen.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We worked through it. Danny's, as Matt said, Danny Carr is the one who's gonna
Oh,
have
wow.
to sort through it to make sure everything's set straight. But it's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we got all the goods. We got all the information we needed. And speaking of information we needed, Vanderin is apparently
Woo!
a fan of Tusk Love. I think that was
This
probably the
is
most
this is
important.
the lore we needed.
That yeah
Oh my
yeah
god. Yeah, that was interesting because there was the scry and then the two messages.
hmm
And it's it started off really interesting, and I think by the second message it was like, oh god, is he shipwrecked, like is he stuck
yeah
there? uh, but I'm not sure because I feel like it's more exile, like self-exile than
yes.
um stranded. But
And apparently
yeah,
he is with people because in one of their previous messages he said that Ford would like the people here.
yeah, I think he's just in like a village.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's so close to Port Damali. Like he's pretty
Yeah.
much really near where Ford was the whole time.
hmm
Which was kind of sad. Oh yeah, Travis's role play in that scene was really good. I
Oh
thought
yeah.
just his reaction to it, and his feelings towards it. And I did like how he said like, oh, I was kind of maybe holding that on to as something like to look forward to or to keep me going through the fight. But it's okay. Like
Yeah.
he's all good. But I like how Jester then mirrored that by saying, no, it's fine, we'll get through. Like she's
Yeah.
showing that, if not confidence, that hope to survive this upcoming fight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But not to jump ahead. Not to. I mean, listen, we never jump ahead
No,
in
not
this
at
show
all.
ever.
Not at all.
But it was cute when Jester wanted to bring up the fact that she scried on Vanderin to Ford. How she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, do I do it?" Like, just like Laura's physical role play in that moment was super adorable because I
Yeah.
could just totally picture Jester being like apprehensive and like worried about how Ford is going to react to her telling him that she scried on him even though he explicitly said not to.
Yeah.
Um, but again, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, he was glad that she did because he himself was a bit curious of what was going on.
It does harken back a bit to Jester sending messages to people she probably shouldn't. But
Yeah.
I feel like in this instant, it's the least dangerous one that she sent
Oh
a
yeah.
message to.
Oh definitely.
And it's probably the more okay instance of it.
Yeah.
Because I remember Bo called her out at one point saying like, you got to stop sending messages to people. Like this is, you sent one to Astrid, you sent one to my dad. This is kind of
Oh
a bit
yeah.
weird.
Yep.
But I think
Right.
this one was probably okay. It's pretty safe. He seemed like a total bro, Vangerin.
Yeah.
Like
He seems on the level. He doesn't. I
yeah.
don't sense anything nefarious.
He doesn't seem like he's actively trying to free Ukatoa, so that's a good
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one less person that the party has to worry about that could potentially be an
Yeah.
enemy.
We
Hopefully.
just need to worry about Ford having a reunion with him.
Yeah. But they can go on. They'll go on like a duo adventure where they hunt down Sabian.
Ooh, maybe.
They can pay.
I just think I want Ford to have some closure on that because that's been like since the start. Like I know everyone's backstory has been since the start, but it's just been a mystery from the start. Of like what happened to him. Like why was he chosen by Ukatoa? Was it because Vandrin disobeyed the pact like Ford did? Does that mean that when Ford disobeyed his pact, someone else picked it up? Like,
Right.
was Sabian involved? Like, was Sabian doing a good thing because he knew Vandrin was involved in a pact? Like, there's so many
layers.
variables. Yeah, that I want to kind of know about because I think Sabian could potentially be a good person.
Yeah.
That blows up ships, but for well-intentioned reasons.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Just gotta blow up a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm super excited that hopefully Ford doesn't die and we get that kind of wrap up for his story. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be nice. But before the party, teleports away towards Essek, we had a few, heartfelt moments with the party, but also trying to figure out and decide what options they have available to them and what they should ultimately go with, because the idea of working with the Cerberus Assembly came up, and obviously Caleb has his own internal feelings about that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
super to talks, because I feel like that would have been talked about a lot. So I can't offer any insight into what was said on talks.
Yeah, I believe it was talked about, but I can't remember because I was only like half paying attention. But for me personally, I can see the positives, like why it could potentially be good, but I feel like the negatives are just way too many and way too heavy. It would not be a good idea ultimately.
I feel like it's asking too much of Caleb.
Yeah, like I was even like kind of offended maybe on behalf of Caleb for like how dare you even like suggest working with
and I get
Trent.
I get that it's the end of the world kind of scenario.
Yeah.
But it was still, I feel like maybe they're a little blasé about it, of like, yeah, we know it was bad and we know that. Like, Bo brought up, like, I love Bo and Caleb's relationship, but I was a little bit like, when she said this, because she said, like, she was saying, I know you've got a lot of history with Trent. And I thought she was going to say, like, I know that this would be really hard for you. But her concern was that he wouldn't be able to, like, maintain his composure, or, like, he would go into one of his fugue states again. And I was like, that's not the concern here. The concern is his overall well-being. Like, but it's a D&D game. But oof, the idea of teaming, I was hoping maybe they'd just team up with Astrid and Eadwulf.
Yeah, because as Leah and Jesse and Chad have pointed out, that yes, Liam did mention that one of the main reasons why he would have wanted that is for the sexual tension. Astrid, Eadwulf, and Jester all in the same, and Essek all in the same adventuring group. He was like, I wish we could have had that. I agree. I agree. That is, honestly, that reason alone might outweigh the negatives, to be honest. I mean, obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but I very much don't think...
PTSD aside, sexual tension is what we want.
But I very much, don't think that Trent would physically join them in this excursion. He probably would send like Astrid and Eadwulf as stand-ins for himself.
Yeah.
I don't think he would put himself in danger, but he might also, because he might be curious enough to want to be there himself.
That's what I want to talk about. Which would be jumping ahead a bit.
Hey, we don't usually do it, but we can make an exception this time.
This once, guys. So when we got to the end, I won't talk too much about the Essek versus Trent conversation they had and the persuasion roll with Essek, but the idea that Trent is still tracking Caleb for a different reason, which we'll get to. I feel like Trent's going to appear anyway. I feel like they're going to be up against the Tomb Takers, or have taken out the Tomb Takers, or whatever, and the Subnovum are coming, and it's there. And I think Trent's going to come and be the pop-in big bad. I think this is, which I'm not sure if I like this idea, because I kind of want the Cerberus Assembly and Trent's destruction to be its own storyline, its own arc. But I feel like Matt might be setting up for a convergence of the story, so that it's like almost two birds, one stone. And I don't think it'd be as simple as that. I'd trust Matt to not make it as simple as that. But I think he might be setting it up to be like, well, we've got this on Nova, we've got Trent, we're wrapping up. If they join forces, there's the big bad for the campaign, sort of thing. Because I could see Trent zipping in and being like, oh, dope, this is cool. Like, give me the power.
Let me have the power,
Or he's already some way engaged with them. Which I'm not sure. I've got that feeling that it's going to be Trent's going to turn up. He's going to join forces with the Somnovum, and it's going to be that's a nice little package of all the big bads they need to face.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not sure I'm 100% a fan of, because, like I said, I do want that to be its own storyline, and I feel like it would be super on par of what's happened with Caleb's backstory so far. Of it just gets pushed aside into something else a little bit. Anytime it comes up, it's always haunted by some other major issue. So I would really love for it just to be a nice, straightforward arc for the Cerberus Assembly, but I think
I feel the same.
Join in Isle Cross.
But an interesting thing of, if Trent does become, the big bad and stuff, what was funny is Liam was talking on the show last night, saying that when he originally wrote Trent as a character and, Caleb's backstory and stuff, he imagined his school to be, somewhere, off to the side, a very small, isolated school, not having really any pull in, any sense of like major governments or anything, just a small little isolated school, an isolated incident with his teacher and all that stuff. He didn't even imagine that Matt would create, Trent in the, the Silstress Academy and have it be such a, pivotal part of the campaign, Trent being in the Cerberus Assembly and such a major player in the political scheme of things.
Yeah, wow.
That was not what Liam thought of at all. So again, it's interesting that Trent could potentially end up being the big bad.
Yeah. So. I'd love him to be the big bad, but I kind of want him to be his own big bad, be his own man, like his own villain. But no, I feel like it might kind of lead into a wrap up.
Which is so sad. I don't like thinking about the end of the campaign.
I'm preparing myself because I think it might be coming soon. I think it could be provided they all survive, or provided some of them survive, there are wrap ups to happen.
Yeah.
But it could be like a 2-episode wrap up, because I mean, campaign 1, the big fight happened, and then they had a 1-episode wrap up. Kind of, and then they had like a 2-episode wrap up for Grog.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. And then I guess, with Dalen's Closet, they said that was the end of Vox Machina. That hurt. That hurt, I think, them saying that was the last one shot. Because it's like those characters, they feel like they're dead.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, they're not being lived anymore, so they're dead.
We're still getting the Mighty Nein X Vox Machina episode at some point, so we'll see them again. We will see them again.
Oh man.
But anyways, so they had this conversation about potentially reaching out to Trent and stuff.
Back on track.
Yeah, I mean, we rarely get off track, so it's okay if we sometimes get off track a little bit. But one moment that kind of broke me was, we talk about the idea of character death a lot.
Yep.
But was Veth writing a letter to Luke? And giving it to Constance to give to Luke in case Veth doesn't come back, or if they don't come back at all. Which was like, oh god. It just adds more emotional weight to what they're doing.
Makes sense. Yeah.
They're preparing to die.
Get your affairs in order, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That was heartbreaking. But Constance's response was lovely, like saying this is the bravest thing you can do, like to protect your son. I think giving her I feel Matt's so good at having NPCs bolster Veth's decisions. Because it is it's that whole argument of, if you're a D&D character and you have a family, why are you an adventurer? It's like a hard thing to justify beyond like level 5. Like once you've got a couple thousand gold, why are you still doing this if you have a family? But obviously in this it's because the world's going to end. So it makes sense for Matt to support his player by being like, it's okay, it's good, keep going. Like, you can stop at any time, but here are the reasons why you can keep going. Because he's always had like super supportive Yeza, and it was really nice, and it gave us more insight into, I guess, Caduceus's family. Her saying that her having the similar feeling towards Caduceus was really cool, because you always see I love Caduceus at home because he does turn into a kid, a bit.
Yeah, he opens
is-
up a bit more, is a bit more lax, more
Yeah,
playful.
yeah. So it's nice to see his mum talk about him as a son rather than, Caduceus, this super wise, all-knowing paragon of truth for the party.
Yeah. Yeah,
Except that one
it's
time.
true.
Yeah.
That one
So
time.
no, that was really nice.
But again, so like after they're having all these heavy conversations, saying their goodbyes, um, and generally talking about what they're getting themselves into, and then when they teleport out, it's
Mm.
like that's it. Like they're not coming back until it's over.
They're not
It's
coming back. Period.
yeah, they're not coming back. End. There it is. Done.
Yeah.
But again, it just filled me with so much anxiety. Like as soon as they teleported out, I was like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no go. I mean, there is going back now, but essentially
Yeah.
there's no going back because I feel like if they end up going back, they're not gonna want to go back again.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, ugh, it's super nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's
And I'm
scary.
super nervous for this coming episode because it's gonna be just straight like get there, and I know it's gonna end on a cliffhanger.
Oh, I know. And then there's gonna be like a 2 week break that they announced, so we're gonna
Don't
be.
joke about it. I say this. It happens every time I go on school break
Yep.
that they take a break, and it doesn't even align with the US and Australian holiday schedules. It's just to
Oh.
spite me. Like
Yep.
every time I get a chance to watch live, they're like, "Hey, no, we're going on break for like 5 weeks." It's like, "Fuck you."
Mm-hmm.
I love you. Fuck
it's-
you.
Yeah, exactly. It's a love-hate relationship. But unfortunately, they missed their mark when teleporting
Yeah,
to Essex. So we had a few days of travel.
they missed their mark, but like I was. I mean, what did they roll? They rolled like a 65 or something. And I
Yeah.
know they had the stone so that
Mhm.
they had a familiar object, which makes it easier. But I still would have thought it would have been incredibly difficult. I feel like 2 days off mark is pretty good for a 65 in a place where teleportation magic is so
Yeah.
skew with.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Matt maybe being a little bit gentle with them.
Probably, and knowing that they're kind
Because
of
if they
on
had gotten
clock.
like 2 weeks off course, then it's
Oh.
like, well, crap.
Yeah,
Like
that would have
end of the world because you can't teleport correctly.
been awful. But I guess they could have just like rested and tried teleporting again, but that might have made things worse.
Worse,
So.
yeah.
Yeah, probably best if they didn't do that.
No, so it's good that they got so close. It gave like some challenge to it. Like they had to fly over the mountains. Polymorph is always fun. Yeah, but
It worked out well. It worked out.
yeah, I don't think much happened during the polymorph. There was a few jokes and things like that.
Yeah, a few minor things. But what was the highlight for me of the traveling was on one of their nights of rest,
Yes.
where they sat around and talked about what if someone dies, one of us dies, what do you want us to do? Like, is there anything you want us to do after you have passed? So that conversation alone is also, extremely sad. You don't want any of them to die. But it's again, it's nice that they're looking out for each other. But
super practical.
yeah.
Like, because it seems like such a heavy thing, but I realize like, oh, I've had that conversation with all my family members. Like we've talked, like not in any kind of morbid way, but just like, oh yeah, like if you pass away, what do you want to happen? Like, what do you want your service to be like? Like, do you want a service? Like all that sort of stuff. So I liked it. I thought it was very realistic, but also so thematically good. Because it's like the heroes before the battle talking about, they know the odds are against them, but they're still being pragmatic about this.
It just
love it.
It just makes me. I don't think it will, but it just all these things that they're talking about and that are happening just really makes me feel like this campaign, if this is the final arc, could just end in a TPK of them sacrificing themselves. I don't think it'll happen, but I can't help but think about that.
It'd be kind of cool just for like one reason. Like, I'm not suggesting I want that to happen. I know we joke about this. I don't want a TVK, but it would be kind of cool for one reason.
It would.
Like, it would just really cement it as a D&D game.
Yeah.
Like, because it is a D&D game, but it's such a strong narrative. It's such a strong improv, so that it feels like a narrative. It feels like a show a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Why people always come in like, oh, is it scripted? Like that bullshit. So I think for a TPK to happen, it'd be like, well, them's the breaks. That's what happens in D&D. Like,
yeah,
but not from lack of trying and preparing. I don't think. I think it's, oh gosh, I don't know. I like how prepared they are, because there was that section a little bit there in campaign 2, probably from around episode 70 to like maybe episode 90, when the Mighty Nine was super nervous in battles.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. They were super cautious. They ran away a lot when things started to get tough. Not like, they didn't run away because things got tough. They left. They thought like leaving was the best option, which it can be in D&D. But I think it was because they'd been knocked down so many times. They had lost Yasha. They had lost so many fights. They were just so discounting their abilities and ability to succeed that they ran away a lot. It got really good, I think, on Rumble Cusp. They got a lot of their confidence back. And then it's been pretty okay since then. But this feels like they are aware, they are prepared, they're going to do good, they're not running away, but they still have that feeling of we're going to lose a little bit, which is scary. And
it is.
I think unless Matt has upgraded the Tomb Takers bit, they should be pretty okay fighting them. They've leveled up since their last fight against them.
And they weren't fully prepared the last time they fought Lucy.
They had just fought an ancient white dragon before their last fight against the Tomb Takers. They should be pretty more well prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm not particularly worried about
the Tomb
Takers.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Lucian, not his band of misfits.
Yeah. Like I said, throw Yasha. Just catapult Yasha at Lucian.
Yeah.
Put a big old tinfoil hat on her head so she's safe from mind control. We're good.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. But two of the players are characters, Bo and
what they said.
and Caleb, the things that they wanted from the party struck me as interesting. Well, not interesting, but understandable. Because neither of them gave any, instructions on, if they die, I want you to do this. They told the party, if we turn, do not hesitate to take us out. Which is also pretty sad.
God, yes. And Caleb called the pact he made with Ford.
Yep.
I fucking love it so much. Oh man, I'm trying to think if I should go get this piece of art that I bought. It's of like Caleb and Ford's pack. It's my favorite piece of. Oh, I'll go do it.
Yeah, go, please go find it.
Oh,
we love art here. Oh, how's everyone else feeling so far about that conversation? Those conversations. Well, Bo did say she wanted her brother to be taken care of. Oh, that's true.
Everything's cool. It's not that scene specifically when they're on the boat saying, like, keep each other in check, but it's the scene of them making the blood pact.
Oh, yeah.
Shiny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my favorite piece of...
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite pieces of CR art. I love the Caleb Ford dynamic. So that callback, and just, it's so cool. Ford is, like, cool as shit. Where it's just like... You know what to do. He's like, yep. Like, I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But they did say things. Like Caleb did say that he wanted to make sure no kids got mixed up in that sort of thing again. True. And I think Bo said, look after my brother. But no, like Jester wanted her mum looked after. Veth wanted someone to marry Yeza.
Yep.
Which I think she suggested Yasha marry Yeza, which I thought was really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did Ford have anything?
I think he did. I just can't remember.
I can't remember.
I just had it here. Let me have a quick look. I didn't take notes, but I found a really good recap. This is why we do What the Sheet the day after the podcast normally.
Yes. I'm just glad I have some notes here. Glad I have some notes. Or else I would not, wouldn't remember much.
No, he didn't say anything specifically.
I think he said he wanted to find Vandrin. He wanted Jester to go see Vandrin. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks with stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, it's such a good scene. It was. Yeah, I love that kind of pragmatism.
Yeah, exactly. But then following that scene, we got a nice little, feels good moment with Caleb controlling the flames to create different images of the party and different things.
That's nice. I like those moments.
Nice, warm way to end that evening.
Excuse me.
The party together. Might be one of the last nice moments they have together. Maybe. Hopefully not.
Yep.
Hopefully not. But in the morning after that, they finished their traveling and arrived back to Essex Outpost.
Yes.
Where they had to fill in Essex on recent happenings.
Well, they did fill him in earlier with a message where
they did.
Like, hey, Trent to you. And it's like I think Matt said he just dropped his coffee.
Yeah.
Essex just chilling, already super paranoid after the Frozen North, just hearing, hey, by the way, Trent's probably onto you. Just like, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Is he here right now?
I know.
Poor Essex.
That's gotta be a chilling thought. Having Trent bearing down on you.
Yeah.
Don't want that.
No. But I love how eager might not be the best word, but I like how prepared he was. He was kind of like you turn up and he's there with his backpack sort of thing, we going?
Yeah.
We're doing this? Okay, guys? But I was thinking back to when they first met Essex, and he's super cool and super kind of enigmatic and shadowy and this super powerful kind of figure of we don't want to fuck with this guy, and now he's oh mighty Nein, that's terrible. Mighty Nein, can I come? Do you want me? Yes. Obviously it feels like I'm making fun of someone that's got anxiety. I'm not, but he's so quiet and he's seen as equal with them now. I really want to stress I'm not making fun of him because of his anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
It's more just the power dynamic has completely shifted between them.
It's equalized or even gone in the favor of the Mighty Nein now.
Yeah, 100%. I think his shame and guilt has caused that in terms of, but the power dynamic I think is still there. It's just, his confidence has dipped a bit. Facade crumbled. Ooh, good one, cool cat. Yeah, maybe it probably was just a facade the whole time.
Probably.
Yeah, he was lying a bit.
And being thrusted into a life-threatening situation will probably do that to someone.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Probably. But then Caleb showing Essex the eye tattoo just to show how invested he is, and then that little scene of Essex, you strip down. We got to make sure that we're all naked in here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Was pretty. I saw a piece of art. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing fan art for this episode, but there was a piece in regards to that scene of everyone stripping down to see the eyes and stuff. That was pretty funny.
Oh my god, what is it with the Mighty Nein are I don't want to say horny, but they're just so.
I mean.
Maybe they are just horny because honestly, any chance they get, they like strip down. And I
Mhm.
don't know if it's an American thing, like if it's
I don't
just
think so.
go into the
I
locker room,
I
get
thought
naked with everyone.
I
Like,
thought that was like a. I thought the Europeans were the ones who were okay with like nudity and all that stuff.
I don't know.
In America,
I
I don't think so. Maybe it is.
I don't know. It's not an Australian thing.
My
Oh my
God.
god. But yeah.
But Twitch chat was going crazy when Essek removed his clothing. So they're like, yes,
Of course they were.
thank you, thank you for
Twitch
this.
chat.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was pretty good. But during this conversation with Essek and talking about working with Trent, unfortunately Caleb rolled pretty low on his persuasion check to get Essek
pretty
on
low.
board.
He rolled as low as he could.
I mean, yeah,
That's the dice telling the story there. That's like
it is
poetic because yeah, it would have been really cool, but I think this is the best choice. Probably.
I think so too. I think so too. And it makes sense for Essek to not want to have anything to do with Trent, given their past history and Essek's feelings on everything. So I'm glad they didn't side with Trent, and then they trust Essek, because then we had that moment where Essek is accepting. Yeah.
Yeah. When Matt said that, like, you can see a visible reaction to the word trust.
Yeah.
Was really lovely. But yeah, I would much rather have the next episode be them traveling and role playing with Essek than them traveling and role playing with Trent. That will make me a lot more comfortable.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Astrid message.
Yes, and I was.
We're getting to that. Yeah.
Yep, was gonna get to that because that was equal parts the funniest moment, but then also hearing what Astrid had to say about Trent and why he is so invested in Caleb is very concerning. Very concerning. But Laura Bailey, everyone. Laura Bailey and the Sending Spell. Name a more iconic duo. That was so good. I think one of the best messages that we've had from Laura.
Yeah. The response as well, like the way Matt interpreted it was just like just like what?
What did you say? And even Caleb trying to like piece together.
Yeah, because it was like cough, clear your throat if you're alone.
And if you're following us. Yeah, it was.
It's just too many instructions.
It was, yeah.
Too delayed, too confusing.
Yep.
No, that was good. But yeah, the idea that she didn't outright say it, but she practically said it that he's still tracking them. But it's clicked for the party, I think, because like I guess as Liam said, he never really intended for this to be such a wide scale thing with Trent. But the idea that like no major organization knows about this level of abuse that's been done. It's super exciting to think that they have a legitimate way to take down Trent. But like I said, I don't think it's necessarily going to come to that. I think it's going to be something else. But it also plays into the idea that Trent isn't so like, oh, come back to me, Bren. Like, I've set you up.
Yeah.
Like, you're my, like, I love you. Like, obviously not that. But, like, oh, yes, you're my protege. Come to me. It's more like, get here, you little shit. What have you said?
Yeah.
Like, who have you tell?
Who have you talked to? Yeah.
Which is actually kind of, like, really grossing abusers can do. So it's like, this dude's fucked. And I want him to go.
It's terrifying. But... again, I don't want to think that Trent will be the big bad, because right now it seems like the most likely scenario is that. Well, I want it to be the most likely scenario is that the whole Trent and Cerberus Assembly arc will be its own isolated story,
100%.
And it will begin. Well, it's already begun, but it'll carry on because of what Caleb means to Trent and the information that he has. And that'll be the motivation that Trent has to either try to kill him, like appear out of nowhere, be like, hey, it's time, you gotta die. Or, try to get him under his control again somehow.
And I want to see the fallout of, like, say they deal with the Somnovum, they deal with the Tomb Takers, the eyes are gone, everything. I want to see the fallout of trying to go back to Rexentrum and like, hey, where the fuck's Vestarogna? Like, I know Trent said he was going to deal with it, but it's there's so much kind of nuance to the whole Cerberus Assembly situation. Like, it's not like, Trent goes to Icecross, he joins with the Somnova and he becomes the big bad, they take him out. Ludinus the Left is still around. Like, he's not just some rickety old man that's gonna like step down if the king says so.
I'm actually
Ludinus is.
I'm wondering. It's been a few days now, maybe even like close to like a week since the assault on the sanatoriums happened. I feel like Ludinus is probably gonna want to know what happened. So I wonder what Trent has said, if anything.
Yeah.
Yet.
And Royal Ramos in chat just said kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, like, what if the Assembly, more than just Vestarogna, were interested in the Somnovum? It does seem like it was her deal, but like, what if Ludinus knows about it too? What if, like...
I feel like it's definitely possible, because it seemed like Ludinus and Vestarogna worked closely than maybe other members of the Cerberus Assembly have. So maybe there was some kinship, there.
Yeah.
Sharing of information and stuff. I wouldn't put it past Matt to have something like that happen, where Ludinus is kind of in on it. I don't know how. I don't know how he would then work his way into all of this. Maybe like, yeah. What if, like, when they arrive to Aor and they ambush the Tomb Takers, Ludinus is suddenly there with the Tomb Takers to see it all through. Who knows?
Oh my god. He's like, this is my child, Lucian.
Yeah. Oh god.
My son.
Yeah. Let's see it.
Canon.
Yep,
that's the
happening.
theory for this episode.
Yep.
Ludinus
is Lucian's father.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
No, it's not possible.
Oh no. How could this be? Not like this.
Oh gosh. But no, I love the conversation with Essek. Like I said, I feel like they sent him outside the door and he would have just been like, I hope they pick me.
Yeah. Like doing the finger thing.
Yeah, like, with his backpack on, just like,
his lunch packed, he's ready to go. Oh.
He's got the brown paper bag with Essek written on it.
Yep.
Like, guys, like, oh god. It's like a
little school kid Essek, ready to go on the field trip. Oh.
Oh gosh.
How did this episode end? Did they begin their trek?
It was just, or about to set off, I think. Like,
yeah. And are they inviting Dagon along with? I can't remember if they said he was.
He's currently at the entrance. I think, was it the secret entrance? Or was he at the main entrance? I can't remember, because they've got a set of like rangers and sneaks at an entrance, and I can't remember if that was the secret entrance that Cad got the divine intervention vision of, because I think that's where the Mighty Knight are heading, because that's where they assume the Tomb Takers are going. So yeah, secret entrance. I'm getting a lot of secret entrances.
Or you could even say it's a secret tunnel.
I mean, you could say that.
It's probably through a mountain too.
Yeah.
Yep. Secret tunnel through the mountain.
Secret tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I think that's definitely what it is.
That's not a good comparison to make, because that song ends with "and die."
Oh no! Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This isn't good.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be... I think that's where they're going. So like, we'll get some Dagon, hopefully, provided that the Tomb Takers don't catch on with what they're doing. I mean, then, like, okay, I haven't looked into the blood cleric class much.
Mhm.
I don't know if the hemocrafting tracking or whatever counts as
Oh yeah.
divination
Yeah,
magic. I
yeah,
can't.
divination.
Or if it's its own thing, because I think Matt has often set up his bloodcraft as like its own type of magic. I don't know if the necklaces would stop the
That's a
blood
good point,
tracking that creature
actually.
do. Also, does Ford still have that brand on
yeah.
his chest? They never actually
Hmm.
fixed that, I don't think. So that's gonna be like
Huh.
he's gonna like immediately front up to the Tomb Takers and she'll be like, oh sweet, pooh, like just do all this damage to Ford.
That is.
Unless they've all
Forgot
just
about that.
forgotten about it, but
Maybe they would like retcon it and be like, yeah, we dispelled it.
Seems to make sense that like with all that time.
Yeah, and it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, because I think it's just a greater restoration they need, don't they, or a dispel
Yeah, it's
magic
not even
maybe?
that. I think it. I think a high enough dispel could do it, but I think greater restoration is like a guaranteed.
Yeah, and maybe they just didn't try greater restoration. It seems like the thing to.
Did.
Oh no, I think it's remove curse. Maybe it's remove curse.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I'll have a quick look, but yeah, I think canonically it's still there.
It probably is, and obviously Matt's not gonna point it out.
Yeah,
I mean, he might point it out and be like, here's with your passive perception, you notice that Ford still has the brand on his chest.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. We forgot.
Is it? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, and when they Ford's had his shirt off, like when they went to the hot spring. When they were in the hot spring, they would have seen it. 100% they would have seen it.
Yeah. I feel like they will probably just retcon it and say they got rid of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, your brain counts as a spell for the purposes of dispel magic. Doesn't say how a creature gets rid of it. Huh.
So then just dispel?
Probably just dispel, yeah. Because, I feel like restoration would have been their first thing to try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
But anyway.
Someone needs to tweet Travis about this.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you that someone has tweeted Travis about this.
Probably.
A lot.
Probably.
It's probably just like he doesn't tweet that much to begin with, and dude's probably just like, this is why.
Yeah.
A million tweets in a day.
Bombarded by reminders.
Yeah.
From the community.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's fine. Do we have any other thoughts, feelings, emotions, concerns, questions?
All the emotions.
Dare I say even tinfoil hat theories? Again, I don't think this is the last arc. Again, I'm going to hold on to the belief that we'll get like a 1 or 2 year time skip after this one where everyone thinks that, even the party thinks this is the last thing, and then boom, Tharizdun comes back. Boom.
Please. Although I don't think I can take that. I think that would be too much.
Because honestly,
the sort of miss Tharizdun, whatever. That can work too.
I don't know, because a lot of people are comparing this to the Chroma Conclave. I can't remember. Did the Chroma Conclave want to end the world?
They just wanted to subjugate it. And I think just Tal'Dorei too. Like, I know Frugal went off to Wildmount, but I think they were focusing very much on Tal'Dorei.
Yeah.
Because that's where all the people they hated were.
Yeah, true. So, like, this feels way worse than the Chroma Conclave, because it feels like the Somnovan City, it wants to consume everything and just wreak havoc.
Absolutely. This is, like, Vecna level.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. I don't want to be close to the end. They're only level 14. I know Matt said that this campaign probably won't go to level 20, but 14 seems like such a low level. I was thinking like 18, like level 18, around there is when it would end.
I think we're getting close to the end. I think it's going to be either this arc wraps it all up with like the big bad, and then we have a few shorter mini arcs to wrap everyone else's story up, or it's this arc then the Cerberus Assembly arc, and then the wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
again,
we
I
might
do
get
still
to-
think the campaign ends this year. Definitely.
Yes. Oh, 100%. But that would be like, what are we? It's the 1st of April today for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. They normally finish around like December. So that's 8 months.
Yeah, so I guess that's, well, like
quick
8, 16, like
32
30-ish episodes.
So we're looking like episode 150, 160.
And I feel like that's some of the predictions we had made when we were predicting when we think this campaign will end. I think some of us had predicted between like 175, 150, around there. 30
or maybe
episodes.
some intrepid viewer can go and find our
yeah.
predictions.
When we I know Phil was there. Phil was there for it.
Yeah, that's going to make it easier. Find Phil. Phil was there.
Wow, so we could be looking at like less than 35 episodes left of the campaign, potentially.
You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first. 35 or less episodes left. Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. Because I didn't watch Campaign 1. I wasn't up to date with Campaign 1 when it ended. And all I've heard are people talking about like how it felt when it ended. And I'm scared for my feelings for when Campaign 2 ends.
Oh, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified. Any opinions on the third campaign? Well, the third campaign all depends on how this one ends. So if they succeed, I know Matt has said he wants to explore Marquette more. So if they succeed, the setting will probably be in Marquette for campaign 3.
Yeah. I think that's our best guess.
Yeah.
The Shattered Isles is a cool guess too. Like that location that's like 1,000 islands just all clustered together would be pretty cool. But Marquette seems pretty good. I'd like to see that area built up a bit more. But I think we've said we're gonna, like, after campaign 2 we'll have a big wrap up.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll have like a lot of like C3 prediction episodes.
Yeah. Character predictions and who's gonna play what and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a little too early to tell because again we don't know how it all depends on how this one wraps up. Because campaign 3 will also probably follow suit, a 20-year skip, maybe even longer.
Ooh,
I don't know.
It'll be a future. Oh, imagine if it's like during Age of Arcanum.
Oh.
Marquette during the Age of Arcanum. Young Jamonza Ord, like little young.
I feel like doing like flashbacks is a bit tricky though, because then you're like messing up
Things
the timeline a little bit, and it would be you're very limited on what you can do.
But I think our biggest kind of theory is that like there might be an event that causes a new divergence or a new kind of
I want it. I want it so bad. And we even got the foreshadowing with the notes from the star speaker, the plane rider. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's gotta happen. Please. Please. I've been preaching a second divergence for the longest time. Gotta happen.
It's very cool.
But if we have no other thoughts about moments in this episode, I believe we can go ahead and call this one a wrap.
Hey.
Oh gosh, they're in it. They're in it now. They're in the thick of things. It has begun.
And we've only got like a day and a half until the episode comes out.
Yeah, so we don't have to wait a week. You'll see us again in a couple days to talk about the episode. So that's exciting. It's probably going to throw off my whole sense of time that we're doing the podcast today and the episodes tomorrow.
Based on all the shit.
Yeah. So it'll be I'm going to be a bit disoriented, but it'll be good. It'll be good. As was announced at the beginning of the stream, do be sure to join the Discord server to, keep up to date about all of the happenings of the channel. And the Minecraft server will be launching fairly soon after I end the stream, and then I will probably go live again as we play Minecraft together and begin that whole thing. Super excited for that. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Good. And so, with that being said, as always, thank you all so much for joining us here live in Twitch chat, and thank you to everyone who is going to be watching this on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, or wherever else this podcast may find itself. It's always such a pleasure hanging out, chatting with y'all. I apologize if it's difficult for us to keep up with chat, y'all. We do our best to read everything, but sometimes topics move rather quickly, and it's difficult to keep up. But we do our best to include y'all. So thanks for being so cool and amazing. And so with that being said, as always, I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful rest of your morning, day, evening. Don't forget to love each other, and don't forget to love yourself. And we will see you all very soon. Bye, everyone.
Yay. Bye, guys.